Welcome into the NFL Every Game on the Board podcast with our first handicapper up, Hakeem Prophet at Skee Prophet on Twitter. Skee, welcome in. How you feeling, buddy?
I'm doing all right. I didn't have the most successful week last week, went a little bit backwards from the hot streak, but best bets won. So let's try to make some money this week and let's keep best bets hot streak alive.
Best bets are winning. Skee, you had some great breakdowns last week. Your most confident play on this podcast, definitely a winner over the whole season. So we'll get that at the end as we break down the first half of games on the Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday NFL schedule. Starting at the top of the card here, Skee, 301. 302 Thursday nighter, your LA Chargers versus my Las Vegas Raiders. We got the Raiders -3, actually right down the road from where both of us are talking right now in Las Vegas, Nevada, with the Raiders being the host here. Skee, 53.5 being the total. You interested in getting involved with the Chargers and Raiders Thursday night football?
This is a very, very interesting game. The Chargers, they've now went under their last 3 games. And the Raiders continue to be an over team. I mean, they're over 9-3 on the year. So I don't trust. I talk every single week saying I trust anybody to score on the Chargers. I don't trust the Chargers defense. And I say every week I trust everybody to score on the Raiders too. The Raiders defense looks pretty terrible. So, I mean, initially I want to look towards points, but I do understand why the total has dropped. Both of these teams, I mean, the Chargers, like I said, they went under their last 3, and it's just for the points continue to go higher and higher. It doesn't really make sense. Last time these two teams met up, I think they scored a little bit over 55, but down at 53. I mean, the only way I could look to play this game is to bet the over. With 2 bad defenses that I don't see getting stops, I like the over. And if I have to pick a side, I never advocate to pick the Chargers, especially the way Anthony Lynn's decision-making has been and how they've looked. But the Raiders have been equally as bad. I think in a game where you're getting points, I would just take the points.
So looking to take the points here with the underdog Chargers. You talk about the total here, Skee. I'm with you. I mean, the Raiders are 10-3 to the over on the season. Controlled climate here at Allegiant Stadium, fast track. I like the over here, Skee. I like where you were going with that look towards the over. I disagree with the market move towards the under.
Yeah, and Chargers, they're not good against the run. I think the Raiders can run all over them, and Chargers probably score whatever way they want to. So I like points.
All right, man. We got 2 Saturday games here, December 19th. Going in rotation order, so we'll do the nightcap first. 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific kick. Carolina at Green Bay. We're seeing 51.5 being the total, with the Packers -8.5 or -9 in Lambeau.
And in this one, the Panthers defense is another one of those defenses I do not trust. I think the Packers, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers can pretty much name their number. Packers, they're vulnerable on the ground, and I think the Panthers can get the run game going. I mean, I looked for more points than not in this game. I definitely don't want to lay the points with the Packers. I don't think there's too much motivation to go in there and blow this team out. So I would probably grab the points with the Panthers and look towards more points in this game.
Yeah, the Panthers are a tough team up front. They're a grind team. They'll come after you. I mean, I don't necessarily like betting against Aaron Rodgers, but you're right. Catching the points with Carolina is the way I would go, but I haven't bet it personally as of yet. We got the afternoon game on Saturday, Buffalo at Denver. We're seeing the Bills, road favorites a mile high, -6, 50 being the total.
This Bills defense, they've looked a little bit better. Not necessarily the run defense, but against the pass, they've looked a little bit better. And the Broncos, I think I talked about Drew Lock. I'm not sure if I talked about it on this show or another show, but he's good against bad defenses. But when he plays a defense that's in the middle or good, he doesn't perform well. And I think that's where the Bills' pass defense is. So I probably would lean towards the Bills side, but it's not one I'm running to the window. And I look towards less points. I don't think either team, the Broncos, their run defense is soft, but the Bills are not going to run the ball. I don't really think either team takes advantage of the other team's weakness. So I'll probably look more towards an under in this game.
All right, maybe looking towards the under in the last game on Saturday. We got the Sunday slate Up next, December 20th here with a bunch of 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific kicks, starting off at the top of the card. 3-4-1, 3-4-2, Houston at Indianapolis. We're seeing the Colts -7 home favorites here. Skee, 51 being the total in Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah, and the Texans, their defense is terrible. Another defense that's terrible. They made Trubisky look good, and I'm not high on Trubisky at all. So if he can go in there and put up a few touchdowns, I'm pretty confident that Phillip Rivers and the Colts can. It's just, I mean, I lean towards the Colts. I don't want to lay that many points, but can the Texans score any points? Since Will Fuller, they haven't had Will Fuller. They had that one first half. I think it was actually versus the Colts. They just played, 2 weeks ago? And they had the first half where Texans scored, I think, 26 points and didn't score a point in the second half. And then last week, Texans only put up, I think, 7 points. I don't see them doing much scoring. Watson doesn't have that many weapons. I think the Colts kind of figured out how to play them in the last meeting. And I would look more towards an under. And if I have to play a side, I look towards the Colts.
Yeah, sidewise, the Colts have had the Texans number. Something I read in the gold sheet here, 5 straight wins and covers versus the Texans. So for whatever reason in this matchup, it's been all Indianapolis. So having to lay the 7 seems to be at least the trend in the last couple years in this divisional rivalry. We got Detroit at Tennessee up next, guys. A little bit of a limited marketplace here with the Titans minus what I'm seeing 10.5. I'm not even sure if that's a real number out there, Skee. I don't have my personal sports book up, but just looking at the odds screen, 51.5 being the total. Anything here?
I'm trying to check my number as well, but the Titans, they can score, but I don't trust their defense to stop a soul. So it's very hard for me to look towards backing the Titans. What was it? You said 10.5, about 10?
Yeah,
it's very hard for me to look for them to win by double digits when they can't play defense. So I think it's too many points, just simple as that. I just don't trust a team that's not going to play defense. I think Henry can run all over the Detroit defense. I think it's a very soft run defense. Detroit defense in general is not good. Titans probably score their points. So just hope that the Lions keep up. I'm not going to trust the Titans defense, and I'll lean towards the dog in this one. I didn't make too many plays early in the week as I usually do on this one, but we'll see if I can find a gem at the end.
Did the Monday nighter throw you off, Skee, with the Ravens -3?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed that. We partied a little bit off that, so maybe I'm a little behind, but I still feel these ways about these games. It's just usually I have a few plays made already.
And Skee, what about like going out on Monday night like we did, and guys, we were out here in Las Vegas watching that Ravens -3, wire to wire cover. I'm joking on that. It was one of the worst bad beats of 2020. If you were on the Browns, Skee and I actually together were watching the game, had the Ravens -3 at a local watering hole here in Las Vegas. Skee, does that kind of throw you off, being a sports bettor handicapper here and going out early in the week, maybe being a little hungover on Tuesday, or no, is that not part of what happened, I guess, this week?
I'll be honest, and I'll say that I don't go out that much, and I only go out when some of my friends ask me to go, and when I hang out with my friends, I like to have a good time. So maybe I do pay for it a little bit the next day, but it's not that often that I do it.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. When you go out every night and drinking too much, that will start to throw you off, just really in any business and life overall. So not for that. But I did notice like this week, because Monday and Tuesday are usually my days to really get after, reading, getting quotes, looking at the box scores, looking at the stats, and trying to find change, in sports betting in the markets that I'm trying to beat. And so that's why, like, going out sometimes it will really throw me behind, man. So I didn't know if that was kind of in your wheelhouse as well.
The last thing, or the one thing I will say, is usually that time where we were out, I'm like, that's when I'm putting in all of my bets for the next week. So maybe that one thing.
Yeah. And Skee, what about living here in Vegas? I mean, you've lived here since, 8 or 9 months now. Have you found that that's changing anything with your handicap rather than just living in Los Angeles?
Well, it's kind of hard. I don't think it's necessarily anything to do with just living here, But when I lived in Los Angeles, it wasn't just like I was handicapping 24/7 full time. And when I'm here, it's more of handicapping 24/7. So it makes it a little bit easier and better.
Okay, because you had actually a real job in Los Angeles. Now you're a full-time sports bettor.
There you go. Bingo.
Yeah. That changes things when you come to Vegas and make it your full life, like both Skee and I have. But I'll tell you this, Skee, it's good to have you here, man. Just a fun person to hang out with. So always good to have you in Las Vegas. As we head down the card here, guys, we got New York Jets and the LA Rams. We're seeing the Rams heavy favorites here, Skee. The biggest number on the board, minus 17.5-point favorites at home, 44 being the total here, Skee.
And, it's very hard for me to lay this many points with the Rams just because, I trust their defense. I just don't think that their offense is that great. And I trust them to run the ball more than I trust Goff. So in this game, but the thing is, I don't trust the Jets to put up points against Aaron Donald and the Rams defense. So I don't really want to lay the points with the Rams. I want to look more towards the total. And the way I see this game going is Rams probably get up by a decent amount, and then McVay takes it out of Goff's hands and just runs the clock, bleeds the clock, and Rams prevent the Jets from scoring. So I'll look towards an under in this game. Not one that I'm running to the window with, but that's the only way that I'll play, just because I really honestly don't see the Jets doing too much scoring, but I don't trust the Rams offense enough to lay.
Good stuff, Skee, there. And the big favorite, heavy underdog, looking towards the under, highest number being 44 in the Jets-Rams game. Shout out to the chat box. Justin D in the house asking Patriots or Dolphins. We got that one coming up in just 2 games, guys. And Elijah watching from Oahu, Hawaii. Welcome in from halfway across the Pacific Ocean. Guys out there watching either Periscope on Twitter or YouTube live right now on the WagerTalk YouTube channel, feel free to join us in the chat box. Feel free to reply on Twitter. Let us know where you're watching from, what your best bet is this weekend in NFL or college football. It all works. We'll get it out to the watchers. And if you're watching on replay, feel free to drop a line in the comments below and smash the like button if you're liking the content. It does help us out. We got Tampa Bay versus the Atlanta Falcons, NFC South rivalry in this one, Skee. We got the Bucs -6 road favorites, 50.5 being the total in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
I'm not that high on this Buccaneers team. I see that the line, I'm not sure if it's the look-ahead line or what, but I think I saw 3.5 or so, and now it's up to 6. So I know it's a lot of love coming for the Buccaneers, but I just don't think they're that great of a team. Their defense can be okay. I think their defense is okay against the run, but for the pass, they're definitely overrated, in my opinion. And the Falcons, on a good day, they can get it going through the air, but they struggle sometimes to score touchdowns. They'll kick field goals all day. And the one thing I will say is since Dan Quinn, I want to say, has been fired, the Falcons defense has looked better to me. And I trust them to slow down Tampa Bay a little bit, at least on the ground. I don't think their run game will get going so easily. And I think it'll have to be Tom Brady. Falcons at home, I look more towards grabbing the points with the home dog and thinking it'll be a lower scoring game. I trust the Falcons need to play a little bit better, and we'll see if the Buccaneers defense can step up. But I like the Falcons, and I lean towards the under.
All right, leaning towards taking the points with the Dirty Birds in the ATL on Sunday. Next game up, 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific here, Skee. Heading to South Florida, New England at Miami. We're seeing the Dolphins -1 to -2 point favorites against the Patriots here, Skee. As a Dolphins fan, it's been quite a while since they've been favored against the Patriots. 41.5 being the total. This one in Hard Rock Stadium Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, and in this one, that's going to be Belichick versus another rookie quarterback. We saw what he did to Herbert, and I don't think Tua is that great, honestly. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes as far as turning the ball over, but I personally just don't think he's that good. So I think I don't want to trust a rookie quarterback against Belichick. I think it's that simple. And the Dolphins, if anything, I'd rather run on them than pass, and that's what the Patriots want to do all game long. So I think the Pats win this game. I agree with Raven in the desert. Nice to see you, Raven. It's been a while since I've seen that name pop up, but nice to see you in the chat. So I agree with him. I think the Patriots win this game.
Patriots going on the road and winning with Cam Newton taking every snap, Skee, in your opinion?
Hey, Belichick said he's not there yet with Stidham starting. He said he has confidence. He likes the way Cam Newton's working. He's a professional. He puts in the work. So I think it'll be Cam Newton. Heavy dose of Cam Newton.
I don't know. This is a tough one for me, man. I mean, Brian Flores can really coach him up on defense. He's proved that much since being the Dolphins head coach. I think he's done a great job. And we get that kind of aspect where it's, a Bill Belichick disciple. And Brian Flores was his defensive coordinator for multiple years there. Now he's the head coach for the Miami Dolphins. Do you think that either helps one side or the other?
I do think Flores is a good coach, and I know that the Dolphins believe in him, so I think they'll play hard. Honestly, if any coach has the advantage, I just think Belichick versus a rookie is the biggest advantage.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say, or I'll ask you, Drew, do you trust the Dolphins more on the ground or through the air?
Probably on the ground, but I don't feel strong in my answer, really. I think that the Dolphins, just overall have done a great job this season, have really been surprising. I think that they need to continue playing defensive football, kind of control the tempo of the game, and almost like boring football, I think is a really good thing for the Dolphins. I think they set up well, in their quarterback situation overall. I think it works out great with Fitzpatrick and Tua. Very rarely do I think a 2-quarterback system throughout the course of the season, playing 2 quarterbacks would necessarily be the right choice. But with this, with both guys, you read the quotes, you see them interact. They look like friends. They're, the age difference, Fitzpatrick's the type of veteran quarterback where, some of these guys are more like the cocky type. He's not that, he's got the whole beard going. He seems like a really cool guy. So Tua getting in and then coming back with, I think that actually works. So playing that route, I would even say play the hot hand throughout the season would be a good thing for the Dolphins, and trust your defense.
Well, hearing you talk about the game and just thinking how I think the Patriots kind of attack the game. I mean, I know the Patriots are going to be run heavy, and I honestly don't think the Dolphins do too much offensively, but like you said, they have to do it with their defense. I think you want to attack the Patriots. You want to run on them. You don't necessarily want to pass, in my opinion. So I think we'll see a lot of running from both teams and probably look more towards an under. I didn't even catch the number, but I was kind of just looking more towards the Patriots. But the more we talk about it, I lean towards less points.
Yeah, and we have seen it move towards the under, almost a 3-point move here from 44 being the open to 41.5 now the total in South Florida on Sunday. So guys, just one more game left here for this section of the Every Game on the Board podcast. Hitting the chat box here, Davy Jones saying Bucs worth a teaser piece this week. And one thing I just wanted to throw out there with this question, Skee, talking about Tampa Bay and Atlanta, the game we just talked about 2 games ago. It's the Bucs -6 with a total of 50.5. When you're talking about teasers, Davy, my advice would be you want to be going through as many key numbers as possible. So with a 6-point teaser, I always think the best time to tease is, yes, an NFL side. It's really the only thing I've ever personally bet as a teaser, and to get through 7 and 3. So I don't necessarily think this would qualify going from the Bucs -6 to a pick 'em. Then you got to pair it with another bet. I would rather this be, say, if it was the Bucs -8, and then you would be able to go through 7 and 3 down to the number of 2. That would be, kind of the perfect time to be doing a teaser in the NFL. So I don't know that I would qualify this in terms of, over a 10,000 bet sample size. I'm not so sure that would work out favorably for you, Davey. However, each person has their own opinion. Skee, do you have anything on that, teasers in the NFL?
I think you covered it. I never tease totals. And you want to go through the key numbers. So I think you did it and never go through 0. So I think that pretty much covers it.
All right. Skee Profit on Twitter at Skee Profit. Great follow on Twitter, guys. If you're not following him, you should. Over 30,000 followers. I'm on Twitter at Drew Martin Bets as well. So feel free to reach out to either one of us with any sports betting questions. Also, what you want to see on the show going forward. Skee's doing this every game on the board in the NFL, 3:00 Pacific time each and every week. So, we can answer any questions you have. Feel free to reach out to either one of us on Twitter or both at Skee Profit, at Drew Martin Bets. Last game here, 355, 356, 1:00 Eastern kick, 10 a.m. Pacific. Skee, Seattle at Washington. Kind of interesting to say that, Seattle's in the state of Washington, but nope. It's Seattle Seahawks versus the Washington football team. 44.5 being the total. -5, -5.5. That's the Seahawks on the East Coast.
Every week I got to do better, Drew. Every week there's one game that I forget that we're going to talk about. But if we're looking at the Redskins and Seahawks, that line you said one more time, is it?
It's Seahawks -5, -5.5.
Okay, I think it opened closer to 4. I did check the opening number.
Yeah, actually, I'm seeing a 3 here, but of course that's dependent on the sports book.
I don't have a strong feel about this game, but if I had to play it, I don't really. I mean, the Seahawks defense has been getting a little bit better, but I'm still not confident enough to lay with them to cover versus. I'm not confident in the defense enough to lay versus very poor teams. Okay, but Washington is still fighting for something too. They can still win their division. So I probably would lean towards grabbing the points now with Washington +5.5. And if I have to, I'm not going to do the total. I just think it's too many points in this game. I didn't look too much into it, guys. Sorry about that. I did miss this game, but I think 5.5, I will lean towards grabbing the points. I don't trust Seattle's defense.
No worries, Skee. We'll make up for it in the best bet, man. You've been great in those all season long, so hopefully hit this one for this podcast. We'll get Skee's best bet here, Seattle versus Washington. I'm with Skee, just on the lean. I actually like this one a lot. You look to neutralize one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and Russell Wilson. What do you want to do that? A good defensive front, and Washington has that, Skee. So I think matchup-wise, I'm looking to be on the Redskins here. Talk about a home dog in my favorite division race here. Talking about the NFC East in the beginning of the season, Skee, I was like, man, what is this conference now? It's my favorite conference race. And sure enough, the Washington Redskins in the thick of it, if not leading it right now, I believe. So I'll follow that defensive front that absolutely gets after it, neutralize Russell Wilson. And heck, you lose by less than 5 points, you cash your ticket.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, it sounds like you looked into it more than me, Drew. So I'll roll with you.
All right, buddy. And Skee Profit on Twitter at Skee Profit. Skee, what do you got for most confident play for the podcast?
Oh man, I'm gonna say this again because usually these are games that I have bet already. I may get there, but if I'm gonna do a most confident bet right now, I'm looking at these two games here, and I'm gonna go with this one. I think the Falcons defense has been better, and we'll see if they can hold up versus the Buccaneers. I like that game to go under 50. What is it, 51 or 50.5?
50.5. Yeah, I think the 51s have been taken out.
I'll go there. If anything, sometimes Atlanta stalls and can't even get in the end zone, and they just settle for field goals. So I'll go for that one. I will say runner-up for best bet. It won't count either way, but runner-up was going to be the Patriots.
Oh, Skee, you're pulling a mid-major Matt, though.
What's that? Tell me.
I always ask him for a best bet, and he gives it, and then he says another game. So then people always come back with, "Hey, you can't play both sides of the fence." And I get what they're saying.
Well, you know what? I'll do this. I'll give you both of them as my best bets. I'll do 2 best bets this time. Okay. I'll take the Patriots and I'll take the Falcons and Buccaneers under. So you can grab me on both for the show.
All right, a bonus play there. We're going 2 best bets. All right, good stuff from Skee Profit at Skee Profit on Twitter. Skee, anything else you want to throw out before we shut this down?
It's been cool rocking with you. We have a couple weeks left. I'm getting more into. I know I love doing NFL with you guys, but everybody I think knows basketball is my number one. So NBA coming around the corner. I'm looking forward to NBA, and I'm enjoying the EuroLeague hoops. Look forward to doing the show with you again next week, Drew. Thank you everybody for tuning in. And let's continue to make some money.
He's a Skee Profit on WagerTalk.com, at Skee Profit on Twitter, 22-11, 67% all sports run. NFL totals in 2020 have been good, up over 57% in a EuroLeague run. Giving it out free, guys. If you like betting different basketball leagues around the world, Skee Profit is giving them out free. WagerTalk.com, 23-12, 66% EuroLeague run. So check them out at WagerTalk.com. Guys, we'll be right back with our closer, Minty Bets, to finish off the NFL Every Game on the Board podcast. Thanks, Skee Profit. Thanks to everybody else out there watching. Huge shout out to the chat box. Feel free to drop a comment below. Let us know what you're betting and why. And please smash the like button on your way out. Best of luck with your bets, guys.